Why does rejection hurt? Rejection is harsh. It makes us feel we are not good enough. Doesn't rejection feel like an end, like you're a failure, and there's no more moving forward from it? But let me tell you what the reality is. These negative perceptions about rejection are myths, and our emotions believe these myths. So in effect, our emotions hurt us. Our emotions spin a story to what the event actually is in itself. Stoicism teaches us that our minds, unchecked, tend to obscure perceptions of reality by imposing harmful beliefs and assumptions. This video will have you 1 foot inside the door in the mental fight against rejection. You will learn 12 Stoic lessons to help you become prepared for those unguarded moments of rejections. The Stoics, a school of philosophers that originated in the Hellenistic era, teaches us that rejection is a part of life. Their philosophy is one of resilience, acceptance, and comprehension of the natural order of things. They have practiced and prepared for these potential outcomes in life, and they have discovered the keys to introspection on the deepest levels. It is from this wisdom that you will learn what to do in the face of rejection. What is the first thing people think of when they hear the word rejection? Romantic relationships. Most people fear being rejected during the dating process, and rejection may occur at various times during romantic relationships. Why is romantic relationships the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about the concept of rejection? This is because the emotional pain is the most intense when we are rejected by someone that we are afraid to lose. Now, you may find this very interesting. The emotional pain can be so intense that it can even manifest physically. There has been research done that proves that psychological pain reaches to some extent with parts of our brain that is involved in physical pain. Simply put, our unfiltered minds can actually make us feel physical pain through times of rejection. But in our lives, we experience the biting sting of rejection in many various forms. And at absolutely no point would you ever overcome the risk of rejection. There's no achievement, salary, title in life, no position in the world that can protect you from having yourself criticized or turned down. So, as the Stoics have learned thousands of years ago, we're left with nothing but to arm ourselves when faced with rejection. I welcome you to the wisdom of Stoicism, and today we will learn 12 lessons about facing rejection's pain, letting go and bouncing back with an energized spirit. Number 1. Control your mind. Let's dive into the first lesson. Control your mind. Control your thoughts. When rejection hits, what's the first thing that happens? Your mind races. You start questioning yourself, doubting your worth, and replaying the moment over and over. But let me ask you this. Who's really in control here? Is it the rejection itself, or is it the thoughts you're allowing to spiral out of control? Here's the truth. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Remember what Seneca said, "We suffer more in our imagination than in reality." Think about that for a second. Your mind can create scenarios that are far worse than what actually happened. It's like a wildfire, starting with a spark of doubt, and before you know it, it's consumed everything in its path. But what if you could stop that spark from ever igniting? Marcus Aurelius reminds us of a crucial insight. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own. Why do we let the opinions of others take the reins of our emotions? Why do we let their rejection dictate our self-worth? Here's where the Stoics shine. They teach us that the key is to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your reactions. You can't control whether someone says yes or no, but you can control how you respond to it. Instead of letting rejection define you, define your response to it. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? Is it one of failure, or is it one of resilience? The moment you shift your focus to what you can control, you start to reclaim your power. You're not at the mercy of rejection. You're in command of your mind. So when faced with rejection, don't let your thoughts run wild. Control your mind, control your thoughts, and you'll find that rejection loses its sting. This is the first step on your journey to overcoming rejection with the wisdom of Stoicism. Number 2, don't reveal your struggle. Let's continue with the second lesson. Don't reveal your struggle. When rejection strikes, what's your first instinct? Do you want to cry out, to show the world your pain, to let everyone know how much it hurt? But what if, instead of revealing your struggle, you held your ground, calm and composed? Imagine a stone in the midst of a raging river. The water rushes past, but the stone remains steady, unshaken. This is the strength Stoicism offers you. Seneca's wisdom cuts straight to the point. How does it help to make troubles heavier by bemoaning them? Think about that. When you expose your pain, when you allow your emotions to control your actions, you're not just dealing with rejection, you're amplifying it. You're letting that moment define you, and in doing so, you're giving it power over you. Now let's bring this into the realm of romantic relationships. Picture this. You've just been rejected by someone you care deeply about. What's your reaction? Do you wear your heart on your sleeve, letting them see every ounce of your pain? Or do you choose silence, dignity, and self-control? In love, as in life, revealing your struggle can sometimes lead to pity, or worse, loss of respect. By maintaining your composure, you show strength, even in the face of heartache. You become that steady stone, unshaken by the emotional current. Marcus Aurelius put it bluntly, if it's endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. Why? Because complaining or revealing your pain doesn't change the situation. It only makes it harder for you to move forward. When you keep your struggle to yourself, you retain your power. You focus on what you can control, your actions, your next steps, not on the rejection itself. Ask yourself, what message are you sending when you don't reveal your struggle? You're telling the world and yourself that you're in control. That rejection won't define you. You're showing that you have the strength to endure, to keep moving forward without letting others see your vulnerabilities. So, when faced with rejection, especially in love, remember, don't reveal your struggle. Maintain your composure, use silence as your strength, and focus on what comes next. This is your second step in mastering rejection with the wisdom of Stoicism. Number 3, do not point fingers. Let's move on to the third lesson. Do not point fingers. When things go wrong, what's your first instinct? Do you look for someone to blame? It's easy to fall into this trap, to point fingers when life doesn't go as planned. But here's the truth. Blaming others doesn't change the outcome. It just keeps you stuck in a cycle of frustration and helplessness. Epictetus lays it out clearly. Small-minded people blame others. Average people blame themselves. The wise see all blame as foolishness. What does this mean for you? It means that by blaming, you're giving away your power. Whether you point fingers at someone else or even at yourself, you're allowing the situation to control you instead of taking control of it. Blame is the hallmark of the victim mentality, a mindset that leaves you feeling powerless and stuck. Now, let's bring this into the context of a romantic relationship. Imagine a breakup. It's all too common to start pointing fingers, to blame your partner for not understanding you, or even to blame yourself for not being enough. But where does that get you? Does it heal the wound, or does it just deepen the hurt? Blame adds fuel to the fire, but it doesn't bring you any closer to peace or resolution. Marcus Aurelius offers a simple yet profound piece of advice. Blame no one. Set people straight if you can. If not, just repair the damage. And suppose you can't do that either, then where does blaming people get you? Blame is a dead-end road. Instead of pointing fingers, focus on what you can fix, on how you can move forward. Ask yourself, what would happen if you stopped blaming altogether? What if you took full responsibility for your reactions, for how you choose to handle rejection? By letting go of blame, you reclaim your power. You shift from being a victim of your circumstances to being the master of your response. So, when you're faced with rejection or failure, remember, don't point fingers. Reject the victim mentality. Focus on what you can do next. This is your third step in mastering rejection with the wisdom of Stoicism. Number 4. Practice gratitude. Let's move on to the next lesson. Practice gratitude. When rejection hits, it's easy to dwell on what you've lost, to focus on the door that just slammed in your face. But what if, instead, you shifted your focus? What if you turned your attention to what you still have, to the things that remain in your life, untouched by rejection? This is where the power of gratitude comes in. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, gives us a timeless piece of wisdom. No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have, and to cheerfully put to good use what they do have. Think about that. You may not have control over rejection, but you do have control over your perspective. You can choose to focus on the blessings that remain, rather than the opportunities that slipped away. Now, let's bring this into the context of a romantic relationship. Imagine you've just been rejected by someone you cared deeply about. The pain is real, no doubt. But instead of fixating on the loss, what if you took a moment to appreciate what you still have? The friends who support you, the lessons you've learned, the strength you've gained from past experiences. In relationships, gratitude isn't just about appreciating the good times. It's about finding value in the journey, even when it doesn't end the way you hoped. Plato once said, "A grateful mind is a great mind which eventually attracts to itself great things." Gratitude shifts your mindset. It takes you from a place of scarcity, where you focus on what you lack, to a place of abundance, where you recognize and cherish what you already have. And when you're in that mindset, you're more resilient, more positive, and more open to new possibilities. Ask yourself, what do you have to be grateful for right now, even in the face of rejection? By practicing gratitude, you're not ignoring the pain. You're choosing to balance it with the recognition of the good in your life. Gratitude is like a beacon in the darkness. It guides you back to a place of peace and perspective, even when things seem bleak. So, when you're facing rejection, especially in love, remember this lesson. Practice gratitude. Focus on the blessings that remain and let them be your anchor. This is your third step in mastering rejection with the wisdom of Stoicism. Number 5. Detach from rejection. Let's talk about the next lesson. Detach from rejection. Rejection is inevitable, but it doesn't have to define you. How often do we find ourselves clinging to a moment of rejection, replaying it in our minds, letting it eat away at our confidence? What if, instead, you acknowledge the rejection but refuse to let it consume you? This is where detachment comes in. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us, Freedom is not procured by a full enjoyment of what is desired, but by controlling the desire. In other words, true freedom comes from within, from mastering your emotions, not from getting what you want. When you detach from rejection, you regain your power. You're no longer a prisoner to that moment. You're free to explore new possibilities, to see opportunities that were once hidden behind the closed door. Let's bring this into the realm of romantic relationships. Suppose you've been rejected by someone you truly cared about. It hurts. But what if, instead of dwelling on that rejection, you saw it as a chance to discover something new? Maybe it's an opportunity to deepen your relationship with yourself, to focus on your passions, or to meet someone who is more aligned with your values. By detaching, you allow yourself to grow beyond the moment of rejection. Ali ibn Abi Talib said, "Detachment is not that you should own nothing, but that nothing should own you." This speaks directly to the idea that rejection doesn't have to own you. It's just a moment, a single event in your life, not the definition of who you are. Detachment isn't about becoming cold or indifferent. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't tied to someone else's opinion or decision. It's about understanding that rejection is not a reflection of your value, but simply a redirection towards a new path. So how do you detach from rejection? Start by engaging in uplifting activities that nourish your soul, whether it's spending time with supportive friends, diving into a creative project, or simply taking a moment to breathe and reflect. Surround yourself with a community that uplifts you rather than one that drags you down. By shifting your focus away from the rejection and onto what brings you joy, you'll begin to see those new paths and possibilities unfold before you. And ask yourself, what new opportunities could you discover if you chose to detach from the rejection? By practicing detachment, you're not ignoring the pain, you're simply refusing to let it dictate your life. This is your fifth step in mastering rejection with the wisdom of Stoicism. Detach and let the new opportunities come to light. Number 6. Don't beg for attention. Let's dive into the sixth lesson. Don't beg for attention. Have you ever found yourself craving someone's attention, feeling like you need their validation to feel complete? It's easy to fall into that trap, especially when you care deeply about someone. But here's the truth. The moment you start begging for attention, you lose sight of your own self-worth. You're handing over your power, your self-respect, to someone else. The Stoics understood the importance of self-reliance and inner strength. Epictetus reminds us, create your own merit. In other words, don't depend on others to validate your existence or to make you feel worthy. Your value isn't something that others bestow upon you. It's something you cultivate within yourself. Let's apply this to romantic relationships. You text, call, make an effort, and yet you're met with silence. It stings, doesn't it? But here's a crucial lesson. If someone isn't reciprocating your effort, if they're not valuing your presence in their life, it's time to walk away. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. You're not here to chase after anyone's approval. Your worth isn't determined by someone else's attention. As Edmund Mbyaka puts it, the hunger for attention is an enemy of self-love. Think about that for a moment. When you're constantly seeking approval, you're starving your own self-love. You're placing your happiness, your sense of self, in someone else's hands. But what if you shifted that focus inward? What if, instead of chasing someone else's validation, you invested that energy into building your own self-worth? It's about recognizing that your value doesn't decrease just because someone fails to see it. In fact, the stronger your sense of self, the less you'll feel the need to beg for attention. You'll realize that true confidence comes from within, from knowing who you are and what you bring to the table, regardless of whether someone else acknowledges it. So ask yourself, are you seeking validation from others at the expense of your own self-worth? If you find yourself begging for someone's attention, it's time to step back and reassess. Focus on cultivating your own merit, on becoming the person you want to be for your own sake, not for the sake of someone else's approval. This is your sixth step in mastering rejection and maintaining your self-respect. Don't beg for attention. Remember, your worth is not dependent on others. It's something you define for yourself. Number 7. Master the art of mystery. Let's talk about something crucial in today's world: mastering the art of mystery. In a time where everyone's lives are on display, how much of yourself should you really reveal? Think about it. Do you need to share everything, or is there power in holding back? Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wisely said, "It is in your power to withdraw yourself whenever you desire. Perfect tranquility within consists in the good ordering of the mind, the realm of your own." What does that mean for you? It means that your peace, your strength, lies within you, not in the opinions or validations of others. When you choose what to share and what to keep to yourself, you create an air of intrigue. You become a mystery, and that mystery sparks curiosity. But this isn't about playing games. It's about focusing on what truly matters, living fully in the present rather than chasing external approval. Why seek validation from others when your happiness should grow from your own actions, your own choices? Marcus Aurelius also said, "The happiness of those who want to be popular depends on others, but the happiness of the wise grows out of their own free acts." Are you living for others, or are you living for yourself? In romantic relationships, this lesson is golden. How often do people overshare, hoping to connect more deeply? Yet sometimes this can backfire. When you reveal every part of yourself too soon, you may lose that sense of mystery, that spark. Instead, focus on building a connection that's grounded in the present moment, not in the need to expose everything about yourself right away. Remember, you don't need to show every stumble, every failure. You can fail forward, learn and grow without broadcasting every misstep. That's where your strength lies, in your ability to keep moving, to keep growing, while maintaining your inner tranquility. So, are you ready to master the art of mystery? To live with selective vulnerability, to hold on to your inner peace, and to let your happiness come from within? The choice is yours, and in that choice lies the power to shape your own life, your own happiness. Embrace it. Number 8. Learn from the rejection. Rejection is like a storm. It might knock you down, but it also clears your path. How often have you faced rejection and thought it was the end of the road? What if, instead, you saw it as a new beginning? Rejection isn't just a setback, it's an opportunity to refine, to grow, and to evolve. The Stoics believed that life's challenges are the forge in which our character is shaped, as Epictetus said, to make the best of what is in our power and take the rest as it occurs. Rejection is one of those things that occur, but how you respond to it, that's within your power. Now think about it in the context of a romantic relationship. You put yourself out there, you care deeply, and you get rejected. It hurts. But instead of letting that pain define you, let it educate you. What did you learn about yourself, about what you truly value? The end of one relationship can be the beginning of a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Seneca reminds us, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Rejection is your friction. It's what polishes you, refines you, makes you better. But only if you choose to let it. Are you going to let that rejection be the reason you give up? Or will it be the reason you push forward with even more determination?" In every rejection, there's a lesson. It might be about patience, perseverance, or even about letting go of something that wasn't truly right for you. Every time you face rejection, you're given a chance to gain knowledge and insight that you didn't have before. So, what will you do with your next rejection? Will you let it defeat you, or will you let it be the catalyst for your growth? The choice, as always, is yours. Number 9. Set realistic expectations. When you face rejection, it's easy to get lost in the emotional whirlwind, disappointment, distress, even hopelessness. You might feel an urge to escape those feelings by setting grand, unrealistic expectations for yourself, thinking that a quick fix will replace your sadness with satisfaction. But this hasty reaction often leads to failure. Have you ever found yourself spiraling after rejection, only to realize you were chasing something far beyond reach? It's a natural response. We all want to feel better, but setting the bar too high too soon is like trying to build a castle on quicksand. Instead, what if you took a step back? What if you paused, regrouped, and focused on your strengths? By doing so, you're not ignoring your flaws, but wisely choosing to invest your energy where it counts. Gaius Musonius Rufus wisely said, "Willingly accept the inevitable, and you will lead a life in harmony with the universe." Acceptance doesn't mean defeat. It means understanding what is within your control and what isn't. Think about your desires. Are they ruled by reason, or are they driven by the need to quickly fix what feels broken? Cicero advises, "Let your desires be ruled by reason." When your expectations align with reality, you build a solid foundation, one that can actually support the life you want to create. Consider this in the context of a romantic relationship. After a painful breakup, it's tempting to immediately find someone new, hoping to replace the loss with a fresh connection. But jumping into another relationship without first understanding your own needs and strengths can lead to more heartache. Instead, focusing on what you bring to the table, your kindness, your loyalty, your resilience, will help you attract someone who truly complements you, rather than just filling a void. Let's face it, rejection stings. But what if that sting could be the spark that ignites your true potential? By setting realistic expectations and focusing on your strengths, you turn rejection from a source of pain into a source of power. So, next time you're faced with a setback, ask yourself, what strengths can I lean on? What expectations can I set that will challenge me without setting me up for failure? The answers to these questions are the key to moving forward with confidence and purpose. The lasting impression you should take away from this lesson is clear. By focusing on what you can control, your strengths and your expectations, you set the stage for real, sustainable growth. And that's a path worth walking. Number 10. Strategically disengage from indifference. You've probably been there. You're putting in the effort, reaching out, being present, and yet you're met with indifference. What do? Do you keep trying, hoping they'll eventually see your worth? Or do you step back, reassess, and focus on what truly matters? Your own energy, your own peace. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference." This is a profound lesson. When you give your energy to those who are indifferent, you're essentially pouring water into a sieve. Nothing you do will change the outcome. So why waste your time? Why exhaust yourself on something that makes no difference? Indifference is like a cold wind. It only affects you if you stand in its path. The wiser approach is to step aside, let it blow past you, and keep walking on your own path. Epictetus also reminds us, men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. It's not the indifference itself that harms you, but how you perceive it. If you see it as a reflection of your worth, it can shatter your confidence. But if you recognize it as a signal to refocus your efforts, it becomes a tool for growth. Now, let's relate this to relationships, especially romantic ones. How often do people chase after someone who gives them nothing in return? They text, they call, they try to stay connected, but the other person remains indifferent. This kind of pursuit is draining. It's like trying to light a fire in the rain. It's just not going to happen. The best course of action? Walk away. Focus on those who value you, who see your worth without needing to be convinced. Strategic disengagement isn't about giving up. It's about knowing where your energy is best spent. It's about recognizing when a situation is not worth your time and having the courage to move on. Think of your energy as currency. Spend it wisely. Don't invest in a relationship that leaves you emotionally bankrupt. And remember, your goals, your happiness, are too valuable to be compromised by someone else's indifference. By strategically disengaging, you elevate yourself. You rise above the need for validation from others and instead find fulfillment within yourself. So, ask yourself, where are you investing your energy? Is it being wasted on those who don't care, or is it fueling your own growth and happiness? The choice is yours, and it's a powerful one. In the end, the lasting lesson here is clear. Ignore those who ignore you. Focus on your own journey, your own goals, and let indifference be the catalyst for your own empowerment. Number 11. See the failure from rejection as temporary. Do you find yourself stuck in the cycle of seeing rejection as the end of the road? It's time to flip the script. Failure feels permanent when we're in the midst of it. One great mistake, one major setback, and it seems like our world is crumbling. But let's challenge that perception. Falling down is not a failure. Failure comes when you stay where you have fallen, Socrates wisely said. Rejection is temporary. It's a bump in the road, not the end of your journey. Every setback is a chance to regroup and charge forward. Think about it. How often does a single mistake define your future? Rarely. More often, it's the perseverance through these moments that shapes who you become. When you face rejection, don't let it bury you. Use it as fuel. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way, says Marcus Aurelius. Every obstacle you face is a stepping stone to growth. Imagine a romantic relationship where one rejection makes you feel doomed forever. It's easy to see how that's not the full picture. Relationships, like any aspect of life, involve ups and downs. A single rejection doesn't end the journey. It's a chance to learn and improve. You must see failure as a temporary state, not a permanent fixture. Embrace the liberating power of starting over. There's something profoundly freeing about seeing something you thought was dead come back to life. Every time you rise from rejection, you come back stronger. Failure doesn't define you. Your response to it does. Keep pushing. The next chapter could be your best one yet. Lesson 12. Rejection as opportunity. Bounce back. Welcome to the final lesson in our series. Let's dive into how rejection can be your greatest opportunity. Rejection isn't the end. It's a chance to start anew. Think of it as a stepping stone to something greater. Your journey isn't over because of a setback, it's just taking a new direction. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, every man's life lies within the present, for the past is spent and done with, and the future is uncertain. Your focus should be on the now, not on past rejections. Each new day offers fresh opportunities. The future is full of potential, and every rejection brings you one step closer to realizing it. Rejection pushes you to re-evaluate your path. It forces you to dig deeper, to rediscover your passion, and to focus on what truly energizes you. When you live authentically, you align with your true self. This alignment isn't just about feeling good. It's about growing stronger and more resilient. Consider this in a romantic relationship. When you face rejection in love, it's painful, but don't let it define your worth or dictate your future. Use it to reflect on what you truly need and desire in a relationship. This reflection will help you align better with someone who truly matches your values and aspirations. Epictetus wisely said, "Nothing truly stops you. Nothing truly holds you back, for your own will is always within your control." The power to move forward, to turn rejection into opportunity, lies in your hands. Don't let temporary setbacks determine your future. Remember, Seneca said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Your preparation and persistence are key. Rejection is not a dead end, but a chance to bounce back stronger. Every new day is a gift. Use it to continue your journey and to embrace the opportunities that lie ahead. Rejection is not the final chapter. It's a new beginning. Embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. The future is bright, and it's yours to shape. These are the 12 lessons that will arm you to overcome any kind of rejection in life. Carry these insights with you and use rejection as a catalyst for your continued greatness. Share this video with someone who might benefit from these insights. Overcoming rejection is key to pursuing genuine happiness and fulfillment. Dive into our next video, How to Be Truly Happy, Stoic Wisdom, to further explore this path. If you're new here, subscribing will keep you updated with more valuable content. Join our community and continue your journey toward wisdom and happiness. Thank you for watching.